I got lots of problems, female trouble. All right, it's time to do the trash trilogy. Now, I thought I'd start off with what is arguably the most watchable of John Waters' early films. I'm, of course, talking about Female Trouble.
Female Trouble.
Yes, starring Divine and a whole slew of Dreamlanders, regular cast members when it comes to the John Waters production company. Yes, Female Trouble is it's insane. It is John Waters' ode to crime, specifically that crime is fashion, crime is beauty, crime is fame.
Crime enhances one's beauty. The worse the crime gets, the more ravishing one becomes.
The most ultimate fame you can achieve is to be a criminal. That is what the whole thesis statement of this movie is. Let's get into it, shall we? Now, John Waters, if you read his books and everything, he has a fascination, especially in his early life, with criminals and people who commit crimes. And the idea of how the media sort of glamorizes it and makes celebrities out of these people. Well, this is his send up to that. Taking someone that such a piece of shit and they manage to become famous just for doing the worst things imaginable. And Dawn Davenport is our heroine, if you can even call her that. She's our anti-hero. Before Taylor Swift, she was the original anti-hero. Dawn Davenport, played by Divine, we follow her from her early years as a juvenile delinquent all the way to a full-on hardened criminal in prison. So, how did she get here? What brought us here? Well, to sum up the plot quickly, Dawn Davenport starts off her life as a juvenile delinquent in high school. She drops out because she's a poor student. She's eating in class. She's getting into fights with girls. She's going nowhere fast. And so are her friends Chiquita and Chicklets, who are the send-up of all the girls John Waters wished he could hang out with in high school. Big beehive hairdos, the white lipstick. So much eyeliner, you'll get a headache. And it is everything watching this. Van Smith really did his big one when it came to the hair and makeup and everything here. They look like authentic Baltimore juvenile delinquent girls. It's everything. And they're going on and on about how they're going to drop out of school after Christmas time. They're about to go on Christmas break. And Divine keeps hammering home she better get those cha-cha heels or her parents are going to be sorry. And boy, are they. So, we cut to Dawn's house, her childhood home, where it's Christmas Day. She's coming down the stairs and she's ready for it. She knows she's gonna get those cha-cha heels. And in case you don't know what cha-cha heels are, there's a lot of confusion online and everywhere about what exactly cha-cha heels are. I'll tell you. Now, a cha-cha heel is sort of like a dance heel. It's a very short, squat kitten heel. The kinds Mistress Isabel Brooks or Silky wears. It's a very short, squat heel, almost 1 inch heel. That's on a standard pump, usually backless, or they have big buckles on them. They're kind of like witch shoes. That's a cha-cha heel. And they're very, very popular in the 1960s because women weren't really wearing high heels like that anymore. That was sort of a 50s thing. They wanted more comfort, but also that look of being formal. So you can have shoes you can switch on and out to be formal or casual. That's the height of the cha-cha heel, those short squat heels, which eventually evolve into go-go boots and whatnot. So that is a cha-cha heel. It's not a high heel. It's just a little short squat, which slip-on pump. That's a cha-cha heel. And what Dawn gets are the most hideous, ugly, bad shoes you could imagine. Just nasty old black leather shoes.
Nice girls don't wear cha-cha heels.
Give me those presents. I'll leave her wear those ugly shoes.
Those are her new shoes. She throws a fit. She destroys all the presents. And she tosses the Christmas tree on top of her mother. And John Waters actually explained that he was inspired by this because he heard the story about how the Christmas tree fell on his grandmother early in his childhood, and he was always fascinated by it. She wasn't hurt, but it was one of the things the visual you couldn't get out of his head. Oh my god, what happened? Was she okay? Just the idea of that happening is so out of this world and so absurd. And there's lots of little John Waters childhood things that he inserted into this movie that we can totally get into. But Divine runs away and she's picked up by a drifter who proceeds to make love to her. Yeah, it's a very long graphic scene, and the drifter is played by Divine as a guy. So she's doing another dual role, sort of like Hairspray. But apparently they achieved this by having Divine not shave for a week, and then there's another woman that worked as double, which you'll see later on in the movie. She's the one who looks like Elizabeth Taylor. She's the big fright hair in the lipstick beauty salon. That was Divine's double. They went back and forth. This is the first thing they filmed. And It was because John Waters really wanted to do that joke of go fuck yourself. And she does. It's like, in a way, she does. And this scene goes on forever. Like, it's so long and so uncomfortable and like so unsettling to watch. And it's just like very, very deranged and demented. And it just sets the tone for how this movie is going to go. Like, nothing at this point, from this point onward, nothing is going to be normal. Like, this is the most square thing you're going to see in the movie from like the early, like her in school and everything. That's the squarest you're ever going to see Dawn. It's all downhill from here. And Divine ends up pregnant. Dawn is pregnant with a child. She tries to extort money out of the guy, and things go awry. She ends up giving birth on a couch in some back room somewhere, in like an auto shop or something. Like, it looks so demented and so gross. And she like bites the umbilical cord and everything, and she names the daughter Taffy. And boy, howdy. This montage of Divine at work cracks me up. Like, I can only imagine what it was like to film that. Like, fully Divine as a waitress in full waitress drag, taking coffees and cakes out of the case and just tossing it to customers. And like John Waters said, like, those were actual customers at the diner. Like, they weren't extras or anything. Like, they just came in and filmed that, and they thought she worked there. Like, people were like, oh, well, all right then. I guess that Baltimore sensibility you don't really think about. Like, these kind of weird shit like this happens all the time. Like, apparently it's like a Waffle House 24/7 anywhere you go in Baltimore, from the stories John Waters tells, especially in the 1960s. She would go on from that job to being a go-go dancer, which is a nice send-up. You can tell he's inspired by Russ Meyer, because this is like the most Tura Satana look Divine has ever had. She's got the full bangs, like the white outfit with the fringe and everything. It's very much the opening of Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, where you see the girls at the go-go club doing their number and the routine. That's totally what Divine is channeling. And like, to see these like horny guys like looking at Divine with everything shaken, everything shakes. All right, even the camera's shaken, okay? And eventually she becomes a full-time petty criminal, knocking over people and stealing their wallets. And this image of Divine, of Dawn, as Dawn, with Chiquita and Chiclets, where they're like in these full like low-rise tops, like their cleavage is just all hanging out with just like a black veil over them to disguise their face and make sure their hairdo doesn't get messed up, because they can't wear a ski mask. You'll mess up your hair. Like, it's a black veil over their face. It's almost like fashion forward the way it looks, like fashion criminals. So yeah, we cut to present time, where Divine now is a struggling single mom, and her parenting skills are questionable. For start, like, she makes Joan Crawford look like a well-adjusted mother. Like, she's fully chasing little Taffy around with a car aerial, which I guess John Waters explained he read somewhere in like a police like documented journal for like child abuse cases that like those were like a known instrument for child abuse, because I guess they don't leave very obvious marks. So car aerials, in case you needed to know. It's like, why do you know that? But it's like that little bit of weird information that he just plugs into everything. Like, he learns something weird, he's going to find some way to put it inside of his movie. But she is saved by Chiquita and Chiclets, who bring her a TV, because I guess they stole it from like a house down the street. And they tell her all about the Lipstick Beauty Salon and how if she's having a shitty day, just get your hair done. It'll always make you feel better. Which, honestly, those are words to live by. That is a mantra if I've ever heard one. Feeling shitty? Go get your hair done. It's essentially that meme of like gay powers reactivated when they get a haircut. Very that kind of energy. And they're telling her how there's a really hot guy there that works as a hairstylist named Gator, and he's just her type. And then we get to go over into Gator's life. And let me just say this. Gator is not cute. He is not my type. He's not cute, but apparently he was John Waters' type. Like, apparently John Waters' dad asked him, and that Gator, is that the kind of guy you find attractive? And John Waters lied and said no. But it's like the most Baltimore punk guy you've ever seen. Like, this long hair and thick, thick, thick accent. Like, total burnout hippie kind of vibe. Like, he looks like he'd be in the Manson family. But, like, he is the least of your concern when it comes to this household, okay? Because the head of the household is the evil Aunt Ida.
People. Aunt Ida.
Who is played by Edith Massey. Well, the opening scene is her rubbing lotion onto her naked breasts, and then she eventually reemerges wearing a full-on plus-size dominatrix outfit. And this outfit is definitely a shout. Like, looking at it, like, it had to take a team to get her into this, like a NASCAR pit crew. It's just like all these windows and laces everywhere. Like, it's kind of cool, but it's like full on like spandex dominatrix tied up outfit. And she's just walking around like the illusion back heels. Those like hideous like stripper heels where it's just like a boot in the front, open toe, and like open in the back, like a little short squat witch. Like if a witch was a stripper, these are the kind of heels they would wear. And just Edith Massey in this, like she has her hair all peroxided out and she's got lipstick smeared all over her mouth and on her like 4 teeth that she has. Like Edith Massey is at her most wicked in this movie. Like the way she conducts herself and the lines they have her read are insane. Aunt Ida, basically, she wants Gator to be gay. And she keeps pressuring him, telling him, like, aren't there any nice boys at that salon you can date? I'd love it if you had a hairdresser boyfriend. Like, just this kind of stuff. Like, the world of heterosexual is a sick and boring life. Like, all these quotes of, like, young gays, I would hear this shit, and, like, I'd start quoting it like gospel.
If they're smart, they're queer. And if they're stupid, they're straight.
Like, I saw this is the very first, like, real John Waters movie I seen in, like, my teenage years. I remember back in the day, this was free on YouTube. Somebody had uploaded the whole movie in parts, and I was watching it and, like, studying. Like, honestly, it was one of those things, I've never seen anything like this before. I knew who John Waters was, but as soon as I got a taste of it, I was like, oh, I have to consume more of this. Like, what else does he make? Because I knew Hairspray and Crybaby, but it's like, oh, so it got really fucked up in the early years. Like, I can't imagine what it was like to see these movies in the theaters or drive-in when they came out. I digress. Like, this fully changed my brain chemistry with Female Trouble. And it's one of those movies where I tell people, you don't have to like this one. I'm not going to hold anything against you if you don't get it. I get it's an acquired taste. And that's completely fine. I'm not gonna be mad if you don't like this one. This one is not for everyone, but it's definitely the most palatable, most watchable of the early John Waters works. And we get a taste of the Lipstick Beauty Salon, and this is like my dream job. I always dreamed of owning like a beauty shop that was called the Beehive, and it's just nothing but the meanest hairdressers that work there. And this is the best like concept of like, he always says he likes the idea of just like being uptight and conservative, but in reverse. Like, we don't want a certain crowd in here, and it's like a junkyard. You have to audition to get in. Like, it's that exclusivity, but in reverse. And that's how the Lipstick Beauty Salon is. It's run by Donald and Donna Dasher, who are an insane couple. Like, Donald is played by David Lockery, who is a Dreamland regular. You'll know him from Pink Flamingos. We'll talk more about him in that. But he's got this long, peroxided out hair with a fall, like that's cascaded, like decorating his shoulders like a shoulder piece, but it's his hair, like on his shoulders, like shoulder pads. Almost like a mariachi, the way his hair is like decorated onto his shoulders. And then there's Donna, who is an uptight, prissy fashionista. She's never seen the same outfit twice. Like, she's got more costume changes than Evita, okay? Like, Mary Vivian Pierce is actually John Waters' childhood friend, and the one that inspired a lot of these characters, because she was the one he always remarks how they would always sneak out together. And like, if you remember that scene in Hairspray where they lock up Penny and they put like bars in her windows, that's what happened to Mary Vivian Pierce. Like, they thought there were such bad influences on each other that they wanted them, like, separated. But this is his childhood friend, and she's always featured very prominently in his early works. You can tell, like, he wanted to make sure people saw she was a star. And this is her most glamorous role. And honestly, it looks like she's having a blast doing it, because she just gets to be in, like, couture outfits the whole time. Like, the most obnoxious, like, Theodora Van Runkle-esque kind of looks that Van Smith whipped together for this. She's never not interesting. And all the beauticians in the shop are incredible. Like, they're a mixture of like really camp gay men with like the most outrageous hairstyles. My favorite is Butterfly, who's got a hairstyle that's called the lift, where it looks almost just like a stylized male geisha hairstyle, where it's just like height up the top, like a crazy ass pompadour, but it's like a beehive pompadour mix. Like, something you'd see in like an anime in like the 90s, okay? And this is where you'll also see Susan Lowe, another Dreamland regular who is very, very pregnant, but very, very pretty. She plays the receptionist at the counter, and she always has like an amazing hairdo the entire film and the thickest Baltimore accent. She'll become very prominent when we discuss Desperate Living, but in this is just a bit part. It's a small part, but a memorable one. She is the receptionist with an attitude. And we get to see Dawn's audition, where she's amongst a girl who works at the telephone company and a stripper. And she wins by a landslide, because why? She's a criminal and a shit kicker, and she wants to be famous. And this immediately impresses Donald and Donna, because they see something they can exploit. This movie is told in like in different cue cards of like flash forwards and flashbacks. So we flash forward again. Like, the timeline in this is all kind of wonky, but it's very, very interesting. Like I said, like, you can tell it was very low budget, but they were stretching those pennies, okay? They were pinching that nickel till the buffalo farted, okay? Like the sets and everything, all the wallpapers they have in this apartment, where he literally just destroyed his apartment just to make this movie. Like had Vince Perenio completely like put up all these wild ass wallpapers and carpets and curtains and drapes and whatever garbage they could find and paint over to make it look obnoxious and opulent and glamorous. Like I love this kind of guerrilla filmmaking when it comes to the early John Waters movies, because you can tell like they were passion projects, and he found like-minded people that just wanted to make these visions come true. And they would go on to like work in other things in the industry. Like a lot of people on his team went on to become industry insiders despite starting as outsiders. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this, because as soon as she hits the lipstick beauty salon is when it really starts to pick up. And I don't want to give too much away, because you should actually really watch it and enjoy it. It's a wild ride. But we should definitely talk about like Female Trouble and why this movie is so significant, because this was his follow-up to Pink Flamingos. And Female Trouble, though it is more watchable, it has more of a cohesive plot, and a lot more interesting things happen in it, it was not as successful as Pink Flamingos, despite all this. Like, in spite of all of it, it was not as successful. Like, it didn't reach as many audiences, because Pink Flamingo set a precedence that people, like expectations that people had with John Waters films, which is they're expecting something trashy, gross, and just like the most shocking thing you can imagine. And John wanted to basically show people he's also an artist, and he is more than just a shock master. So he dedicated himself to writing an actual narrative script, and people were not expecting this, and people did not want this. So, unfortunately, Female Trouble had lost money, but it had made enough to where he was going to get more to do a third film, which will be Desperate Living. I have to say, Female Trouble is the one film that has certainly lived on and has gotten a lot more respect over time, because it is honestly his finest of his early works. Like, it makes the most sense, it has the best story, it has some of the most memorable characters, and some of like best writing. I can say like some of these lines in this movie will blow your mind, and especially for how ahead of the time they are. Like, and a little bit like oddly progressive, despite the fact that like they were just put in there to shock people, because he wasn't going to shock people with dog poop or gross out gags. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely their share of poop and obnoxious nudity. There's lots of really good cutting dialogue in this, and like these long speeches that they have, they're making good points, and they're making really funny points, which I think you should definitely like watch and pay attention for, because it does give you the insight of like that twisted mind of John Waters, his kind of camp humor and sensibility that has sort of become his signature now. But this is definitely his ultimate send-up of the narrative that the ultimate fame you can have is being a criminal. And it's the biggest impression you can leave on history more than anything, because people will always remember a criminal. Now, when it comes to Female Trouble and my feelings on it, I actually really like this movie. I think it's also, I have nostalgia for it because the very first one I watched, it was the one that my teacher, I had a really cool history teacher that encouraged us to like go out there and search out films. And I mentioned I like John Waters. He said, well, you should check this one out. Like, see if you like it, and then decide if you want to explore more John Waters works. Like, he knew this was the most watchable and consumable of the early John Waters movies. And I watched it and I got it instantly. Like, it tapped right into like the humor that I really, really liked, and that kind of camp sensibility that I didn't see anywhere. And definitely, like I said, reworked my brain chemistry from there on out. Like, I was a changed person after watching Female Trouble. But please let me know down below what you guys think of Female Trouble. Do you like this film? Is it your favorite, or can you take it or leave it? I really want to know down below, because I'm always curious to see what was your first encounter with Female Trouble. And if you're wondering what that title's about, Female Trouble is actually like old slang for a woman when they're on their period. That's what it is. It's just a code word for it's her time of the month. She's having female trouble. That's where the title comes from. And John Waters got that because Cookie Moeller, who plays Chicklets in this movie, when she went to the hospital, he went to go visit her and asked her what was wrong. That was her response. Oh, I just had some female trouble. She had a really rough period that week. But definitely check out Female Trouble. You're going to love Divine. You're going to love Mary Vivian Pierce. You're going to love Mink Stole. Mink Stole steals the show as the grown-up Taffy. Like, when you see her in this, you could tell, like, she must have inspired Courtney Love, because she looks like Courtney Love. Like, she's got, like, the full baby doll dress, the smeared-on makeup, the peroxide out hair. Like, it's Mink at her most insane. And you can tell, like, this is his muse. He's definitely always used her for, like, the most ungodly, uncanny, uncharacteristically characters he can think of. Like, Mink Stole is always the one to play the most obnoxious characters. And to the T, like, she gets it. Like, she always hits the nail on the head when it comes to like portraying his outlandish characters. Your living stole is Taffy. She's insane. But definitely check out Female Trouble. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, before I go, I have to show you something. A little story time. I actually got this in P-Town. It's one of my most prized possessions. John Waters has a house in P-Town. He's there every single year. And I managed to catch him like right before the summer season was started when he first came in. And he was doing a signing because Female Trouble was released on Criterion that year. This is years old. But it was one of the first, it was like the first John Waters movie to enter the Criterion, which was a big deal because this is one of those like companies that only recognizes art films. Like they're known for like putting out the finest in art. And they were the first ones to really be hip and get it and be the ones to like, you know, open the door for John Waters to be taken seriously, if you ask me. Because like as soon as the Criterion happened, that's how you know, okay, he's in there with like Godard and all these respected artists like Jarowski, all these amazing European artists that are in the Criterion and only get their releases through this. So super cool. I got it signed by John. He spelled my name right, which I appreciated. And when I mentioned, I went to the signing in drag, by the way, full drag. Raja was right ahead of me. And he was awesome. It was honestly like one of the best moments in my life was meeting him because it's like one of the few instances where I've met heroes where they were completely fucking awesome. They were so cool to talk to. And he wasn't mean or anything. Like it was such a cool interaction. And when I mentioned what my drag name was, the first thing he brings up is, oh, well, did you read The Tragic Secret Life? And immediately just jumped right into it. Like went right to the one of the most shocking stories from it. And like got him to smile. Because he instantly remembered, like, oh, yep, he's cool. This guy's cool. I like him. But yeah, one of my prized possessions. I love this thing. It is a great release. You should definitely check this out. Like, get the Female Trouble. It's still in production. And it has all the best bits, like, and even more. Because a lot of these early New Line releases from, like, the box set, some of them don't even have director commentary. And honestly, watch Female Trouble once without it and once with it, just to get all the insight. Because there's never an uninteresting thing John Waters says. Like the hearing his commentary and like what inspired all these things will just expand you and give you like pack a notepad because you're gonna be writing things down to like look up later. But no, definitely check out Female Trouble. I love this movie. I think it is an art film and is deserving of respect. And you should definitely check it out. It is the best of the Trash trilogy. It's only downhill from here. The other ones, they have their charms, but they're not perfect movies. Female Trouble, I will say it, it is a perfect film. You can argue with me all you want. I don't care. You're entitled to your wrong opinion, but let me know down below what you thought of Female Trouble. Is it your favorite of the three? I am dying to know. And if not, which one's your favorite? That I have to hear. All right. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, bye. Well, it's over now. Click my next YouTube video. Like, comment, and subscribe.